Hi, and welcome to Stay in the Loop, where we know $40 can represent a whole lot. In our previous videos, we learned how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And in this series, we are going to be learning how to round. So allow me to put on my vocals. And let's get started. So place value in base 10 numerals. So when we're talking about representing these values, I have pictures of what 1,000 looks like, what 100 looks like, what a 10 looks like, and what a 1 looks like. But the values that I want us to look at are the actual numbers. So no, I do not have 7 ones, but I'm hoping that we can visualize what 7 ones looks like. So how many ones are in 1,357? And that's typically an easy one. That is 1,357 ones. I can cut all of these little cubes, all these little hundreds, all of these little tens into individual ones. When it comes to our tens, that is when it gets a little complicated because we see that there is a 5 in the tens place. However, 300 is 30 tens and 1,000 is 100 tens. So in total, there are 135 tens in 1,357. Lastly, we have the 100. So same thing. The 3 sits in the 100 spot. However, 1,000 is also represented by having 10 100s. So there are 13 hundreds. This information is going to be vital as we are trying to find benchmark numbers for our plotting points for today. So our next slide is the halfway. So the 5 or more, raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. We are going to look exactly what that means and how that represents going up or rounding down. So we have 38. Because I am rounding to the nearest 10, that is the value that I want to focus on. So I currently have 3 tens. Nothing more, nothing less. So my number line is going to consist of 3 important numbers. My current 10, which is 30 in this case. 1 more 10, which is 40 in this case. And then my halfway mark, which is 35 in this case. These are the most important numbers for you to have when you are rounding, because now all I need to do is figure out where to plot this 38. I know that 38 is above my halfway mark of 35, so 38 is probably right around here. And I can see 2 things. I can see that it is greater than my halfway mark, which is right here, as well as the fact that it is closer to 40 than it is to 30. So 38 rounds up to 40. Now we're going to look at a 3-digit number because, again, we're talking about representation. How many current tens do I have in 274? I know that there's 7 tens, but I also know that 100, or the current 100, is 20 tens as well. So on my number line for 274, my first set of tens is 270. Those are my current tens. 27 tens is 270. 1 more 10 is 280, with my halfway mark being 275. So again, the most important numbers. Now that I have those numbers, I can easily plot them. So 274 is going to go right before my halfway mark. And I can clearly see that it is less than my half. So that means 274 rounds down to 270. So we come to my favorite part for you to really sit down, look at the current tens to see what your digits round to. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, I hope your answers look just like mine. I have the green as my identified number to then let you know boxed what that number rounds to. And of course, are you looped in? Bye.